Yo! What's going on, guys?
Okay, that works. And you summon the boy.
I guess he responds to yo.
Or a really loud clapping.
That too.
Regardless, welcome back to the We Say podcast.
We Say, yeah. With a capital W, capital E.
Because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, and there was a couple other things.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Don't worry. We're going to work on it. It's not quite up to par yet, but we got a lot of things to work on in general, so we're not too concerned.
Also, update the last podcast that we did, the one that didn't get uploaded, footage got corrupted.
Yeah, so there's nothing we can do about that. Well, sort of. It's basically lost, but we can sort of redo it. We're not going to probably do it as good as it was. Because it was a masterpiece. It was beautiful. But,
Probably just going to line up all the raw footage we have and try to do minor things, but there isn't much we can do with it if half the stuff is corrupted anyway.
And if you edit and do that type of stuff, like when you go and you edit something and then
you go back,
you really don't want to go back and do it again because it's I already did this. Why would I want to go back and do it again? So that's sort of my vibe because I edited that one. And like I said, masterpiece. But of course, it had to be corrupted for whatever reason. So
I really think it's because of the size of the files for the render stuff that I was telling you about earlier.
Okay.
I really think that if you because you're using a laptop and I'm using a literal supercomputer.
Yeah, this is literally what I use.
I'm using a literal, not a supercomputer, but it's a pretty good computer.
It's a lot better than what I'm working with.
Well, I just have more hard drive space. I have a terabyte of hard drive space, so I can afford to hold stuff.
Yeah, and also, a little off topic here, but I'm going to plug my own stuff here.
Go for it.
By the time this is up, my first film is going to be out. So check that out on my channel. I'll link it. He'll link it because he's editing it, so he's going to link it.
I am.
So click that link and then watch that. It's a short film. It's 2.5 minutes long.
All right. Well, I guess I'll get things started here. Typical football, kicking it off with Wayne. We're going to go AFC West this week, and the AFC West is a two-horse race. Let's start from the bottom, as we do. The Raiders. John Gruden's Raiders. They got Antonio Brown, right? They're going to be great, right? No! They're going to be awful. Because they haven't done anything to protect Derek Carr. They signed Trent Brown from the Patriots, right? They signed him to the largest contract in offensive lineman history. And he's not that good. He was just under an excellent system in Bill Belichick. People need to learn, hey, they were really good for the Patriots. I'm going to sign them in free agency. They're not as good as you think because they work under this super awesome system that the Patriots have. Derek Carr is not that good. He is good, but John Gruden's coaching and they're going to win 5 games. Maybe less. They might be in the top 5 draft picks again. They're going to be and especially look at their division. They got to play the Chiefs twice, the Broncos twice, and the Chargers twice. Good luck with that. Oakland going 5-11, on to Denver. They're going to be better than last year, because if you ask me between Case Keenum and who's their quarterback? Joe Fluco. What?
Easy on that.
Well, I'm sorry. Can you escape the pocket, please? Joe Flacco is better than Case Keenum, so they will win more games than last year, maybe. I'm picking them to go 7-9 because I do believe in Von Miller, Bradley Chubb. They're going to have a monster of a defense. And they re-signed their all-pro cornerback. They're going to have a really, really, really good defense, which you need in this division if you're going against the Chiefs and the Chargers twice. I think that they're going to steal a game. They're going to steal the home game against the Chiefs and the Chargers, and that's going to inevitably cost them the 1 seed in the AFC for the playoffs.
Sure.
But they're not going to be good enough to get over the line. Phillip Lindsay, fantastic young prospect for the running back. Joe Flacco, he's great. They lost Emmanuel Sanders, guess who? New England. And I just don't think they have the pieces to make a playoff run this year. but they're going in the right direction. So stay prideful, Bronco fans. Then I'm gonna make the most sacrilegious pick of probably all of my playoff picks. The Chiefs are not going to win this division. The Chiefs are going to go 11-5, and they're going to fall just short on the last day when they play against the Chargers at home. I think they play whenever the last time they play the Chargers. That game will be for the division, and the Chiefs are going to lose. Patrick Mahomes is excellent. You know Patrick Mahomes, right? Like, everyone heard of this wonder kid who threw for 50 touchdowns in his first rookie season. And the only person that could beat him was Tom Brady in the playoffs. Like, what are you going to do? Problem is, he lost his running back. They lost Kareem Hunt because of all that situation. I think he kicked the woman. But still, Patrick Mahomes does not have his reliable running back. And you could tell towards the end of the season for the Chiefs that it showed. Because in the beginning, they were throwing... The 3 seed. The 3 seed. I think Pitts... Oh, because this finishes off the AFC. So this was my AFC playoff picture. Okay. Patriots get the 1 seed. The 2 seed goes to Pittsburgh. The 3 seed goes probably to whoever wins this division between the Chargers and the Chiefs. I'm picking the Chargers. The 4 will go to the Colts. Wild card is going to be Kansas City And I have a book. It's going to be Kansas City and Cleveland. Cleveland somehow makes it in. I cannot believe that happens, but that happens. And next week we start the NFC, and by the time we're done with the NFC, we're gonna be close enough to NFL preseason. So that's that. Hype.
All right. I blew the whistle if you didn't tell. So when you edit it, you can just go over and do the whistle.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I did it twice. It's gonna be awesome. Anyways, so now our next topic. We're gonna talk about
The evolution of memes.
the evolution of memes.
Just how.
Just where they've come from. How
Not really
far,
it's
how
not
far along they've come.
It's not the history of memes because I'm not going back to 2012. It's just
Well, that's what I mean. We'd start off
where we are.
Just like the evolution. They started out like
Sure.
this simple, and then now they're
Beans.
what they are. What's the going meme right now? What's the most popular meme?
With the boys, and it's a picture of
No,
the Spider-Man
that's
thing.
last week.
It is still very relevant.
No.
That's all I see on Instagram and whatnot.
Was there a meme review posted recently?
I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying that's the way to find out. All right. So yeah, I mean they started out very simple.
It started off just with very simple, actual humor from dad jokes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very good fun, good natured, nice.
And now it's just, I mean,
just.
Well, okay, so like if you look at a meme from like say 2012, like for me at least, it's almost cringy to look at them because it's like that is not funny. Like why? I can't believe people laughed at that.
Well, I really don't know what to say. We started off as remember all these? Wow.
Yeah,
this Grumpy Cat and the Hillary Clinton stuff and the crazy girlfriend girl thing. Bad Luck Brian. Gangnam Style. Oh my god. This is so old. Jesus. Angelina Jolie's like. It started off so nice and so simple and so pure. Wholesome. That's the best word you could use. And now it's just
like the dirtiest, just most messed up thing you could think of, pretty much.
Just a picture of Carl Weezer with the woke eyes, with the trigger thing at the bottom, and beans with ear rape will have me dying for 4 hours. Makes no sense, but it does.
There's been some really good memes. Some memes that transcend time.
Such as?
Well, you got Ricardo for one thing. Ricardo never died.
He's still there. I can't believe he's still alive.
And then also something I found ironic.
What?
The I don't know what it's called. I guess the Reaper meme, where it's the Reaper going
through the doors.
Yeah, I mean I don't think that literally can't die, because every time a meme dies, that's where it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the meme itself. So you got that.
There's just it just says where we are as a group of people.
And then you also have other memes like the Thanos memes, where there's just such a big amount of them, and that was a very terrible way to word that. But there's a lot of Thanos memes, obviously around both movies, and I thought they were pretty funny.
Well, what I thought was good about memes recently, like the last few years, is they go with the times.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not just stupid stuff for the sake of writing and typing stupid stuff. It's relevant to that week, and then in a week it's dead.
Like you can really get a good understanding for what's going on just through memes.
Oh my god! Remember all of the? I'm trying to think of. Well, for me personally, all the sports memes are always hilarious. Because and then the freezing cold takes when people type stupid crap on Twitter or whatever, and then you just screenshot it later. Like after the Patriots came back from the Falcons in the Super Bowl, I remember seeing all these articles of the collapse of the New England Patriots, and then at the bottom, 28-3, and they win the game.
What do you think would be the most consistent memes?
Consistent meme? What does that mean?
I guess memes that are
that are still around.
Still around and still going pretty strong. I'm saying like a genre, not like a specific one. So like I said, you got like Thanos memes, you got Star Wars memes, you got stuff like that. Or if there are any.
I really couldn't tell you.
Like you said, the Twitter memes.
Half of the memes that I see at this point are just so brain deadly dumb, but hilarious at the same time. Mr. Suck. You know who that is?
Who?
On YouTube. It's literally the dumbest thing ever, but it's hilarious, and I don't know why. My humor has just completely died. How about that? Catch Me Outside Girl, I just saw that. Obama's. Obama's. Obunga has been alive for a while, he's still there.
A lot of old ones mixed in here.
It just... Memes just really show how we are so brain deadly stupid sometimes.
Although a lot of memes are the best ones I think are complex and you need to like actually think to understand it. It's not just right out in front of you.
Just beans, man. Beans. Lately, I saw a bunch of garlic bread memes and I don't understand. Like, why?
That's the thing too. Like, I'll see a meme, and I'll see like a lot of them, and I'll be like, okay, what is this from? Why is this like a thing?
It's
And
usually
then it
from
just
a
makes
movie
you
or
like
something.
look it up and sort of get an understanding of stuff.
It's definitely... It's just based off the times. That's actually really interesting. I never thought about that. That if you just look at a timetable of the memes, you can tell what happened that day.
Yeah.
Or that year.
Even day, yeah.
Like, remember when PewDiePie uploaded his his year review? Or his YouTube Rewind?
Oh, yeah.
And it was just nothing but the memes of that year, and you're like, wow, that happened this year. It's crazy.
That was good.
Oh, I had something I was going to say. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
Okay.
I lost my train of thought.
I think memes, in a way, are a really good thing because it allows people to connect in a way where they probably wouldn't normally. It's sort of like a commonplace that everybody can be like, ah, that's funny, that's good. You know, no matter really what the meme is about,
Yeah.
everybody can laugh at it. And obviously it doesn't go for every meme, but for the majority of them, it's like, as long as you understand it, it's something everybody can laugh at.
Until you're in Europe and they release Article 14.
Alright, well, we don't need to worry about that.
Well, we don't, but people do. That's weird that... And you know that China literally restricts everybody to the point where
But they've always done stuff like that.
Yeah, but it just sucks that they can't get in on these memes because you know those would be... Have you seen Spanish memes and stuff like that?
Not
Just
really.
Hispanic memes? Memes from other countries?
Not
It's
really.
hilarious.
I don't speak Spanish, though.
You don't need to because you could just translate it.
I
Hilarious.
feel like it would probably be lost in the translation.
It's the whole world is in on the memes and the internet. It's
Yeah,
great.
I mean, that's great.
It's great. It's hilarious. It brings us together.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. It goes back to what I was saying about bringing people together.
Until it doesn't, because Article 13, 14, whatever it is now.
Alright.
Meme review.
So, do you think the overall, I can't think of I can't think of how to talk today.
I can't think of how to talk about memes because it's just...
It is a weird topic.
It's so... The way memes are, it's so dumb to try to explain it rationally.
Exactly. That's what
To rationally...
we're trying to break
explain-
this down in like a logical way, and it's just not happening.
Oh! Okay, this might veer into a different topic, but... Because I was thinking of Simpsons memes and stuff like that. But have you ever noticed how The Simpsons predicts literally everything before it happens?
I don't watch The Simpsons, but I've heard that, yeah.
I was watching the Pat McAfee's podcast, and it was on YouTube, and there's just so many signs of how they just predicted the future before it even happened.
Really?
They predicted Greece getting sold. They predicted 9/11. They predicted pocket funds and stuff like that. They predicted Trump was going to be the president. They predicted all of these things 8 years ago.
That is pretty
It's
crazy.
wild. Because, one time if you
I
gotta
think that
convince
could
like
trickle into something we're going to be talking about in a bit.
Yeah, that's what. Oh no.
They could.
No, I was gonna say time travel.
Well,
Honestly,
that's part of what we sort of.
I guess. But, who does The Simpsons? I can't remember. Groening, that's right. Matt Groening. Took me a minute to remember him. Like, you're a time traveler. There's no way. There's no way that you get all these things perfectly correct. Like, all the things The Simpsons have predicted. It's a thing. It's a thing.
And watch a whole video on it.
There are whole videos on it.
That's pretty funny.
There are whole videos on it, and now this computer wants to die. Okay, here we
Although,
go.
if you could time travel, the best thing you would do is make a show.
I
Like,
mean,
you wouldn't do other things, like
there
win the lottery.
aren't there technically the rules of time travel
I don't know.
that you can't interact like that? Like those tiger attacks. I don't think we were old enough to really understand, but apparently there were these group of people, or these two people, Siegfried and Roy, that they befriended these two tigers or three tigers, and they would always take action shots and stuff with them, and then the tigers turned on them. They predicted it in 1993. It happened in 2003.
What, that they would turn on them?
Yeah, that the tigers would
Were
turn
they
on them.
already a thing
Yeah,
in 1993?
yeah.
Okay, so that's not that big of a... Like, yeah, Tiger.
Okay, and then-
Tiger ate you.
And then
Big shock.
they predicted autocorrections failing on phones. You didn't have texting, phones to text in 1994. They predicted in 1994. It happens in 2007.
Okay. Now, some of this stuff, it could be like, this gave people inspiration to make this stuff. Because think about it, if you see it in a show like that, you're like, oh, yeah, you can make that. Not me personally, but Steve Jobs.
You really think that these guys would look at TV shows?
Yes, because they have lives. They
Okay,
watch
well
TV.
then I can do you one better. They predicted Trump was going to be the president, and they got the exact shot. I have to find it. They got the exact shot of him going down an elevator in some mall, and it's the exact same picture.
I don't know. You gotta.
I have to find it for you. It's ridiculous.
I mean, that is a pretty crazy prediction, but at the same time, it's not that out there because he said in the past that he wanted to run.
Dude,
or that he thought
they
about
predicted the God particle.
The what?
The God particle.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, so it's basically the thing that predicts or that tells you that everything has mass. It's in all that theoretical BS that we don't really care about, but it's some ridiculous formula, and they predicted
just
it.
randomly wrote a formula,
And that happened to be it. Yeah.
Okay, that's weird. That's really weird.
NSA spying scandal.
So wait, hold up. How did it happen? Did somebody like check it up, just check up on it, and like see if it worked, and it just happened to work? Is that how it happened, or
No. Scientists like a decade later in 2013 figured it out, and they predicted it in 2007.
and they got it right to the T.
They got it right to the T. Spying scandal. Nobody predicted that the government was spying on us back in 2007. Nobody was thinking about that yet because we didn't really
It was
have.
already in 1984. The book. I'm
Okay.
just saying, a lot of people.
Okay, fine. So you can get that one.
I'm cracking down on this stuff, alright? It's not getting past
The
me.
Ebola outbreak.
I'm pretty sure there was already an Ebola outbreak.
No, but the one in America. Nobody thought that first world country USA was going to get hit with an Ebola outbreak. They predicted it in 1997, happened in 2014.
I'll tell you what, the one with the equation, that's the
The
only one
FIFA corruption scandal. They predicted the FIFA corruption scandal in 14, came true in 15, and they were like accused of it like a year ago.
What happened with that? Context.
Just corruption with money, Sepp Blatter, stuff like that. He was
Again, that's not new to sports, especially I would assume sports with a lot of foreign countries.
Oh man, yeah.
Where maybe they don't have the same morals as other people.
Okay, that's one way to say that they're
I'm just saying, different cultures have different ideas.
dirty money. Okay,
Yeah.
they predicted that.
That sounded really bad. You should cut that out.
No, that's gonna stay right there.
No, cut it out.
They predicted in 2012 that Greece was going to be just bankrupt, I remember. Do you remember that whole thing?
No.
Well, Greece went completely bankrupt.
Really? Well, okay. Again, they could have been on the way down at that point. I'm not saying they were or weren't, but could have been.
There's
I'm just
many.
trying to look.
Okay, here it is. President Trump's presidency. They predicted it in 2000. It happened in 2015 or 2016, whatever. I need to find that exact shot. There is an exact shot.
I don't know about that exact shot, but as far as him being president, he's.
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it for you. There is an exact shot of him going down an escalator.
Plus, it wouldn't be the first time a celebrity became president. Cough, cough. Ronald Reagan.
Okay, well.
Okay.
This picture. That picture.
What?
You know that picture.
What are you talking about?
That picture right there. You
That's a
know
real
that
picture?
picture. Yeah, like there is a side by
So
side.
put like side by side or compare. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, you see. Look at it.
Hold up.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Okay, but still, he could have watched.
Come
that.
on.
He could have watched that and been like, "Oh, I'm gonna do it."
Come
for the
on.
I'm gonna do it for the
Look
meme.
at it.
I think
Come on.
I think he might have done it for the meme. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah.
Our President Donald Trump would have done it for the meme. Of all people.
Mm-hmm.
Come on!
Okay, but that's him standing at a podium. Like, come on. All presidents do that.
America, you
He's
can be
gonna show
next
you
one.
guys what we're looking at, by the way. He's gonna
Like,
put that
come
up.
on. There's no
You guys
way.
decide for yourself.
There's
but
no way. The gig is up.
the only thing about this that's a little bit weird is the logo. The fact that the logo is sort of the same, but at the same time, like.
Look at it's the same.
Oh, I'm not We gotta figure out a way to like actually get this camera to stay on, or get a different camera or something. If you guys have any suggestions, just leave them down in the chat in the comments, and we'll take a look at it and see what we can do to change. But
I still
we were
can't
talking
get
about
over
the Simpsons, the 20th Century Fox Disney takeover thing.
I can't get over it. That's 20 years.
Yeah, no, that's
There's no way that you talk about. I get it. If maybe they talk about it a little bit before and then they make something into fruition, but they got the details almost exactly right.
yeah.
They got.
I don't know. Still, that's another thing.
They
That
got
just
the
doesn't amaze
sale
me.
price right.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
Exactly.
They got the sale price at 66 billion,
And that's exactly what
and it was 66.1 billion.
Okay, I mean, that is impressive.
Come on, come
Because
on.
the company's worth would change over 9 years or whatever it was.
Come on.
Yeah, that part is impressive. I'll give them that.
The gig is up.
Okay, so U.S. Olympic
US
curling win.
Whatever.
Woohoo.
I mean, they could have predicted that.
Bound to win sometime.
They predicted the exact score.
Which was
They predicted, or not the score, the people that were going to defeat who? They predicted the USA was going to beat Sweden, and the United States beat Sweden.
Sweden's probably like the top one.
For curling?
Yeah.
No, I think it's one of.
It's gotta
It's
be one of those
Baltic-
ice countries.
They also predicted the Super Bowl.
That's not hard.
They predicted the Patriots winning it against the Falcons. Like a solid 7 years before it happened. They predicted the score and where they would be.
Oh, the exact score?
Yeah.
Alright, so The Simpsons, we're done with that?
Yeah, I'm convinced. There's no way. There's no way that you can predict all of that and then it's not true.
Alright, I disagree. Still, sort of, for the most
How?
part-ish. but-
How?
Okay, there's a few... Okay, for one thing, if I could go back in time, you're damn right I'm going to be looking at Powerball and stuff. Like,
Okay.
I'm not just going to be, like, looking at these dates so I can just throw it into a show and be like, yeah, this happened, this happened, this happened. I'm going all in, 57 million, whatever the
I'm
Powerball
pretty
is.
sure that's one of the rules of time travels. You can't do those.
What do you mean rules? Where do these rules come from?
Because then you change the past. You change your future. If you change the past, you change your future.
No, I'm not saying you go and you just go into the future Or would maybe...
You're saying that you would go back in time.
No, so you being present time, so right now I would go, say in a month or something, and see whatever the Powerball is. Just see, not buy any tickets or anything, and then go back to the present time, and then use those numbers.
Yeah, but then you change the future.
Not really, because the future hasn't been written yet. Unless we live in a predetermined world.
I mean, yeah. We live in time is constant. If you start changing time, then you're breaking dimensions, literally. What is it called? Multiverse theory.
I call Stephen Hawking to the stand.
No, multiverse theory. If you go back in time and you change one little thing, it's going to change the entire future. Like if we went back in time to like the dinosaurs or whatever, and you accidentally stepped on a bug.
No, that could potentially change.
That would change the entire...
Not necessarily, but it could.
No, it would.
Okay, but that bug could die 5 seconds.
Okay, but something else would have killed that bug.
Not necessarily. You could have just had a heart attack.
Okay.
If bugs have heart attacks.
But it wouldn't have been you.
It doesn't matter.
It does.
No.
Because you did that action.
Okay, but it wouldn't matter, is what I'm saying. Because there's not really any, like... Okay, I think I'm getting too...
It's okay.
Too much audio now. Let me turn my gain down a bit.
Jesus. No, but genuinely, if you went back in time and you changed one little thing...
Alright, that should be... That's good. That's a little bit better.
Yeah, that's why I turned my gain, like, way, way down. If you go back in time and you change something...
Yeah.
Just even a little thing, that drastically changes the future. So if you went even to the future... and then came back here, and you just wanted Powerball tickets, you wanted to see who would win the Super Bowl so you could make a bet or something, then you drastically changed the way of time.
I don't know if I agree with that, because I think, well, a lot of this stuff, it's not known for sure, though. It's like, it's theory. There's nothing that's proven. So we don't know how this stuff works, if it even works.
Yeah, there's math behind it.
Okay, but if it was like a thing... then, like, it would already be happening.
No, because apparently nobody can travel in time yet.
That's what I'm saying. So there's no way to actually prove it.
There is no way to test it in field, but if you test it with math and in theory, yeah, it's a thing. Multiverse theory is a thing.
Okay. I don't know. This stuff's a little bit...
No, because think about it.
For me.
You can't go in time... or back in time, or forward in time, do something different, and then go back and expect for everything to go just as planned. It would change. Even slightly. I'm not saying it would change drastically. It doesn't always have to be drastic. But things wouldn't happen the way that they were naturally supposed to play out.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
It's like fact.
So how far do you think we are from that?
Well, if time is constant, then that means there are people that already can. If time is constant, then people already can or have come back before.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they wouldn't be able to interact with anybody, or they shouldn't.
Exactly.
Well, they couldn't actually. Well, according to what you're saying, they couldn't come back at all then, or else they would affect some stuff.
They could come back, but they couldn't. They could not interact with anything. If you interact with any organism or any idea.
So what if you just come here, just like move the table slightly?
Well, then it would change time, because then you would have to move the table back.
Not if you didn't notice.
Then, if you didn't notice, then one day when you sit down, you would scoot in your chair a little bit more. It would change. Wouldn't change drastically, but something different would have happened.
Okay. But that wouldn't really have any... most likely wouldn't have an effect on anything significantly.
No, because you just moved the table. It's like a centimeter forward.
Okay, what if I went and waved at my neighbor?
Then your neighbor... And if you don't...
Assuming I look the same and all that stuff.
Assuming that you normally talk to your neighbor.
Yeah, just give him a wave.
So then what happens when you do it again the same day?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what if I didn't?
Maybe what if you...
I don't know. This is
very
hypothetical.
Because it's all hypothetics. If you wave at your neighbor, normally, daily, and then you travel back in time, and you wave at your neighbor, then you go inside or whatever, and then you come home again, and you wave at your neighbor.
I see what you're saying.
It'd
be like...
Yeah, it's like... This is how time works. It's really weird. When you break it down and start talking about it, it's the most mind-boggling thing ever. But it's true. Multiverse theory is a thing. Don't at me.
So that leads us into our next.
How did we get to multiverse theory from? What were we talking about before? This was originally about memes.
Yeah, we go from memes
to the Simpsons being time travelers to multiverse theory.
Am I turning my gain up or down?
I don't know what you're doing, dude. You're over there messing with.
Oh, I'm turning it up. I'm stupid.
Tragic.
I think.
Like, ugh.
Okay, that's less. Okay.
Let me know what you guys think, because I'm not passionate about these things. It's just when there are facts to back something up, I firmly believe that it's true.
I agree, but I don't know. For me, I question pretty much everything. I have to see something to believe it. So if there's not enough proof that I can see,
well, you can't see time travel. It's not a.
If it's a thing, if everybody knows it's a thing, if there's a time machine or something.
Well, why would you want to talk about what we're about to talk about?
That's what I'm saying.
Why would the government let us know about that?
That's the thing. I don't think they do, and that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of this stuff exists, and we just don't really.
There are too many hypothetics and stuff like that.
And you always hear about people letting these types of secrets out and stuff, and then they disappear and whatever.
Yeah, and how there's some people that just come to this earth and can do and change everything. Who had the idea of the iPhone? How did that concept even start? Of having just a full screen as a phone? Or these electronic cars instead of using oil?
Yeah.
Let's just go into the next topic because we're about to anyway. We're pretty much talking about it.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. Basically, do aliens exist? If so, what kind of a...
What kind of a what? An effect? What kind of a...
What kind of experience do we have with them as far as have they been here? Does the government know about it and just keep it from us?
Well, I do believe that we have... in this universe, this vast universe that we have not explored, and we know that there is water on other planets, and we know that there are planets that can sustain life, including one of the planets around Jupiter. I forget which one it is.
Moons.
One of the moons, yeah, that can sustain life.
Is that Endor?
I don't remember which one. It's one of Jupiter's moons.
That was a Star Wars reference.
I didn't even hear it. Yikes. There is no way that there isn't some form of intelligent life somewhere in the universe. Now, whether we've interacted with it or not, I don't know.
It's stinky breath.
He does have stinky breath. He needs a bath. And he also needs greenies or something. Whichever one it is that the dogs chew on and makes their breath better. I just haven't gone to go buy it yet. Because I haven't gotten paid yet.
So,
yeah, but there's...
I don't know. Personally, I think there's a lot more that is known than the government sort of... You good? Then the government sort of lets us know. I think they, possibly have technology that is not even, close to what the general public gets to
of course.
use.
The military gets technology more advanced than what we civilians get. That's a fact. I know that for sure. The upper levels of secrecy, CIA, government, whatever, they definitely have technology that we don't. And that's okay. I mean, I'd rather that they have it and they figure out if it's okay for civilian use than if you just throw time travel to everyday people and then you have all these...
But at the same time, wouldn't it be nice to know, oh yeah, we got a couple UFOs back at the office?
I mean, no. Not really.
You wouldn't want to know that? That's not something that...
It's not that I wouldn't want to know. It's just...
I'm not saying have access to it. obviously.
It's like, why? Why do we need to know? Because
I think we're entitled to know what's going on, personally. Like, who put the government... I mean, obviously, we put the government in charge. But, like, I don't know, what makes them better than us.
Well, why would you want that information that's potentially dangerous? Just for the sake of knowing?
Yeah, just so we know what we're working with.
I wouldn't want to know anything that could put me in danger.
Why?
Because it could put me in danger, just for knowing.
Okay, but if you know about it, then you could actually prepare. Like, these doomsday preppers and stuff might not be so crazy.
What am I going to do against an alien coming at the planet? What can I, a person with no...
That's the thing, you don't know anything. But if they know stuff about them, they could know weaknesses.
Then I don't know. Because what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Survive and potentially get murdered by aliens anyway?
Maybe.
If extraterrestrials come to the planet and they have superior technology to us, that's it. That's it.
Yes and no.
As opposed to what?
Well, for one thing, there's different technique and stuff. Not technique, but strategy as far as what you can do to protect yourself.
Independence Day is a lie. If
I'm not talking about disease, although that could be a thing.
No, Independence Day wasn't disease either.
It was.
It wasn't. Independence Day was when all of those spaceships came down to Earth and they went over all of the major cities.
So what was the one with disease?
I can't remember.
Disease killed them.
Probably one of the Prometheuses or alien or whatever. But if intelligent life comes to our planet, there's only one reason why they came to our planet.
What's that?
They want our resources or something. Because why would you peacefully want to come to another planet? Unless you had a reason to.
Partnership.
Light years away.
You don't know how far they are. Like you said, if there's life on the Jupiter's moon, that's not
how far
that far.
Jupiter is?
I mean, it's pretty far, but it's within the solar
years
system.
Of travel. It's light years away.
At the same time, we don't know how fast they can travel, though. I mean, I've heard you can't travel at the speed of light because, like, at that speed,
at a molecular level,
yeah, exactly. But I would assume that they could probably get somewhat close to that.
The speed of light?
Not necessarily the speed of light, but a lot faster than we can move.
Okay. And then what?
And we don't even know what
travel. Like we can't travel.
That's what I'm saying. So they would come to us.
Okay. And then after a while, why wouldn't they just get rid of the middleman?
Who's the middleman?
Us.
No, I'm saying
because we have things that they want.
So so you're saying just take us over?
Yeah. Why? So then it's like think of a drug deal.
Okay, but just because maybe they have some sort of conscience or something, and they wouldn't want to just
Well,
think about it. The way people are, especially these days, they're very anti anything say killing animals for no reason or whatever.
Okay.
I would assume people would be the same way about extraterrestrials, like, oh, we can't just go killing them. So maybe they have a similar sort of belief system.
If they have intelligent life, like if they are intelligent and more intelligent than us, they will understand that it's necessary.
No, not necessarily, though.
It definitely is, because what can we offer them that they don't already have?
We don't know. We don't know what they have.
If they have superior technology to us, what do they need Earth for?
We could have something that they don't. Maybe a certain element. Maybe.
So then why wouldn't they just take it?
They could, but I'm saying maybe they just wouldn't want to.
Big maybe.
I know it is, but still, you don't know.
Think of even human history. Going to America, right? All those.
But okay, I know what you're saying, but that's back when we were more primitive. They're even more advanced. Would be more advanced than us. So maybe their morality would be even.
Okay, think about modern America, modern everything. They have nuclear weapons. Let's go extract it because we don't want them to have it. We want it. They have oil.
I don't think that's.
Let's go take it.
I don't think that's the idea. I think if you're talking about like North Korea and stuff, nobody wants North Korea to have it because they know they got some crazy dude in the office.
Oil in the Middle East.
You were talking about nuclear weapons.
Well, I was specifically talking about Iran. And that whole.
Well, still, I think it's the same reason. They just don't know what they're going to do with it. Nobody trusts him. He's knocked out.
You took him to the park yesterday, so he's a bit tired still. But no, I can't find a feasible option or feasible reason as to why.
I just think maybe they wouldn't want to. They just wouldn't think it's right. Possibly.
Why wouldn't they think it's right? If they
wipe out an entire planet? I don't know. That seems a little wrong to me.
Yeah, to you, but what if we have something that they crucially need, and they don't want to trade with us. They just want it. We can't stop them. If they have better weapons and better technology than us, there's literally nothing we can do. If you're outgunned in the military...
So then how did the Avengers defeat Thanos?
By crawling up Thanos's...
No, but honestly, like, I think, there's different things that we might have that they don't have as far as, what's going on in our heads. Maybe technology we have, it's just different than what they've developed. Because think about it, it's not like they would start where we started. They would branch off into a different direction as far as the stuff they have. So what we're working with here, we got laptops, we got microphones, we got cell phones. They wouldn't have that. They would have completely different things that we wouldn't or didn't think of. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So maybe they just didn't think of something. I don't know, maybe bullets, for example. Maybe that just for some reason never crossed their mind.
Why would you get bullets if you could have some form of rechargeable gun?
Maybe it's not as strong. It doesn't do as much damage.
As a bullet?
Yeah, I'm just giving an example.
Plasma.
This is off the top of my head.
Plasma. Which, you can get plasma from space.
Maybe they just have some... You're slipping. He's going to fall. Maybe it's just something like... uses energy, so heat.
Heat?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm coming up with this off the top of my head.
If they have
a weapon that does.
If they have spaceships, they can generate heat.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's just what they have, and that wouldn't be as strong as a bullet or something. Maybe I don't know. I'm just saying, like, we don't know. The government probably does, but we don't.
I wouldn't want to know. If we have,
I personally would.
If there are extraterrestrials that are aggressive and are have the ability to attack us. And that's the thing. Even as people, we fear being susceptible to danger. Have you noticed that? Even as a nation, we fear not being able to do anything against them.
Being out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happens to us when we realize, hey, even if they are peaceful, wow, they're nice and they're good people. But
okay, but I think that's part of human nature is, okay, so we figure out we're outgunned, we're outmanned, we're whatever. So we try to solve that. We figure it out. That's part of what makes us human. You know, we are able to, take the next step and say, okay, this is the problem, but we got to fix that.
So who's
and that's with everything.
They can't do that too? If they
maybe for some reason they don't, or they can't, or
they've gotten as far as being able to build spaceships.
Okay, but maybe they are arrogant and they think, oh, our stuff's good enough as it is. Maybe they haven't encountered any other life. There's no guarantee that they would have, met other life forms in other places.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying. There's too many factors.
I just really don't believe that. Dog hair. If there are aliens and they exist and they want to take something that we have, that's it.
You see, I'm not that submissive. No offense.
No, it's not that I would sit there and lie down and just accept that, oh, I'm dying now, but...
For me, I would, without a doubt, fight.
What can you do? What could you do?
That's the thing. We don't know what we can do because we don't know what we're up against. If we are up against anything. If we have time to prepare...
How would we have time to prepare? In what situation?
If the American people know. Or not necessarily American people in general.
Build anti-alien stuff now?
Possibly. Okay, so if they have... Okay, so if they have some of their technology in Area 51 or wherever.
Okay.
I'm sure there's people smart enough that can take that stuff and,
And who's to say that
replicate it?
And who's to say that they won't adjust for the weaponry that they lost? We do that.
Yeah.
Whenever we lose or we gain nuclear warfare, we built things to defend against it.
Okay. And also, you got to think we're a pretty, populated planet.
Yeah, a populated.
They might not have as many, beings in general, so
okay, but
they could be outmanned.
But how many people are capable of fighting against?
Possibly more than them.
Against trained combatants.
Possibly more than them.
If you chose everyday people to go against even the worst of our Marines, they would get destroyed.
Not necessarily. Oh, wait, hold on. What'd you say?
If you chose everyday people
Okay.
to go against even the worst of our Marines, those people would get destroyed.
Okay, but that's not what I'm saying. So let's assume they have sort of like a military or whatever, like we have.
Okay.
Let's say the Earth military would consist of. You think 10 million people is a fair?
That's too much.
You think with all the countries on the planet? Okay, let's just say it's 10 million.
Not everybody would fight. Yeah, go on.
So 10 million soldiers, Earthlings. This sounds like such a weird conversation to have. Versus their possibly 2 million, 3 million.
Okay.
Soldiers.
What about airships? Their airships are superior to ours. Then what?
Okay, but still, that's not what I'm saying. They would be outmanned, possibly. Not saying they would for sure, because they could come from a bigger planet and have more people. And
or
we'd be
say that our weapons could even affect them.
Say they can't. Maybe, like I said, maybe they just haven't had any experience with anything like that, so they would be just as shocked as us. Maybe they're not that much more developed than us. They just happen to, do the right things to learn how to do space travel. You can't just assume that they're better than us.
You always assume the worst when you don't know.
I know that's the thing, and if you do know, then you have something to prepare for.
But we don't know, and that's the thing.
The government knows.
If they do know, and
that's why I say it would be nice to know.
So
as
then, why would they tell us and
civilian.
start mass hysteria of aliens?
I'm saying if there's a legitimate threat, then they should.
Of course they do.
Last minute, I'm saying if they know, okay, these people are not with us. They are, they want to bring harm to us. So I think it would be nice if they could be like, okay, listen, this is what's going on. Arm yourselves appropriately. This is what we know.
What do you think the Cold War was? That's what they did for the Cold War. They historically they have done that. They have told people about an imminent threat and to prepare.
But this is a little different.
The Cuban Missile Crisis. Well, it's still an end of the world scenario. Or an end of that particular group of people.
Apocalyptic event.
There you go. That's the right word. Regardless, it would still be a problem. Yeah. It's not like they don't know.
I don't know. I would just like to know this type of stuff just for my self-preservation and for, people who are close to me, I guess.
You have to think...
Because I know the government, they're all for, maintaining themselves.
Well, okay. Here's the thing about that. You have to process what it would mean to release that kind of information.
I understand that what you're saying, mass hysteria and all that. I get that.
Yeah. What's worse? Being in a world where there's mass looting and nobody can do anything. They're upcharging, is that the right word?
I don't know.
Or exploiting people for money for basic things like gas and water.
Why would that happen?
Because of the mass hysteria of the world being doomed.
But why would that affect prices and stuff?
Because everybody has the same plan. Get food, get water, get gas, protect my family.
Okay.
And I've been watching nothing but natural disaster movies for last week. As soon as you mention even the thought of there being some kind of disaster coming, any kind of disaster. Think of we live in Florida, dude. Whenever there's a hurricane, what happens?
Evacuation.
Not evacuation. Everyone's trying to get gas. Everyone's trying to get water. Everyone's trying to get wood.
I don't know why I said evacuation. I don't know what's going on.
And now imagine that on a global level. Because there is nowhere to hide.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. I get that, but I don't know. I would like to be in the know for certain things.
It would make no sense for them to tell us. Because then we're just all dead. We would kill ourselves before the aliens would kill us.
But we'd all die anyways.
Yeah, probably.
I'd say we'd at least have a chance. Well, the government probably wouldn't.
What chance would we have?
If we were able to prepare?
Yeah, what chance would we everyday people have? Because most people do not have weapons. What chance do we have? We have returned. So, there is a lot that we want to get into because...
It's a pretty big topic.
It's a good topic. We're going to save this for a later date, so we're going to wrap this podcast up here. It's already pretty long. Got anything you want to say, Eric? No?
I think we got it covered.
All right. We'll see you guys.
Yeah, we're going to really jump into some depth on the next one when we, continue this conversation. So.
All right. We'll see you guys in the next video. Say hello to Clooney. Once again, making another cameo.
He says bye.
Peace.